The crash of Northwest Airlines Flight 421 on August 29, 1948, remains one of the earliest known cases of a commercial airliner being destroyed by a lightning strike, highlighting the vulnerabilities of early post-war aircraft and the dangers of severe weather. The aircraft, a Martin 202, was on a routine flight when disaster struck, sending it plummeting into a field in Minnesota and killing all 37 people on board. The accident raised significant concerns about aircraft design, lightning protection, and the challenges of flying in extreme weather conditions. Northwest Airlines was one of the leading carriers of the time, expanding rapidly in the post-war boom of commercial aviation. The Martin 202 was a newly designed twin-engine airliner, introduced to compete with the Douglas DC-3. It was marketed as a modern, unpressurized aircraft capable of carrying more passengers over longer distances. However, the 202 had not undergone sufficient testing before being put into service, leading to design flaws that would later become apparent. On the evening of August 29, 1948, Flight 421 departed from Chicago, Illinois, bound for Minneapolis, Minnesota. The flight was scheduled to stop in Rochester before continuing to its final destination. The crew, consisting of experienced Northwest Airlines pilots, was well aware of the stormy weather along the route, but believed they could safely navigate through it. Summer thunderstorms in the Midwest were common, and pilots frequently had to adjust their routes to avoid severe turbulence and lightning. As the aircraft approached Rochester, it encountered a rapidly intensifying storm system. Passengers aboard would have felt the plane shaking as turbulence increased, with flashes of lightning illuminating the dark clouds outside. The crew communicated with air traffic control, indicating that they were continuing their approach despite the worsening weather. Suddenly, the aircraft was struck by lightning. The exact sequence of events that followed remains unclear, but investigators later determined that the lightning strike caused a catastrophic structural failure in the aircraft's tail section. The Martin 202 was constructed with lightweight materials that, while effective under normal conditions, were not designed to withstand direct lightning strikes. The electrical discharge likely caused an explosive separation of critical structural components, leading to an immediate loss of control. Eyewitnesses on the ground reported seeing a bright flash in the sky, followed by the aircraft spiraling downward in flames. Some described hearing a loud explosion before the wreckage hit the ground, suggesting that parts of the plane had begun breaking apart before impact. The crash site, located in a field near Winona, Minnesota, was engulfed in flames by the time emergency responders arrived. Rescue teams quickly realized there were no survivors. The wreckage was scattered across a wide area, indicating that the plane had disintegrated in mid-air before crashing. The force of the impact, combined with the fire that followed, made identification of the victims extremely difficult. The tragic loss of life deeply affected the families of those on board, as well as the aviation community, which was still learning how to manage the risks of flying in extreme weather. The Civil Aeronautics Board, CAB, the precursor to today's National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, launched an immediate investigation. The examination of the wreckage revealed that the tail section had suffered severe structural failure, consistent with the effects of a powerful lightning strike. Investigators also noted weaknesses in the Martin 202's design, particularly in its resistance to electrical discharges and turbulent conditions. This crash was a wake-up call for the aviation industry. The Martin 202 had already been experiencing other mechanical issues, and this disaster forced manufacturers to reconsider the structural integrity of commercial aircraft. Subsequent models were redesigned to include better lightning protection and reinforced tail sections. Beyond the technical aspects, Flight 421's crash underscored the importance of improved weather monitoring and pilot training for navigating severe storms. In the years following the accident, advancements in radar technology allowed pilots to better detect and avoid hazardous weather conditions. Airlines also implemented stricter guidelines for operating in storm-prone areas, reducing the risks associated with lightning strikes and turbulence. For the families of the 37 victims, the crash left a lasting impact. At the time, commercial aviation was still developing, and each major accident led to new safety improvements. However, for those who lost loved ones on Flight 421, the tragedy was a painful reminder of the dangers of early air travel. Memorials were established in honor of the passengers and crew, ensuring that their lives were not forgotten. Today, the crash of Northwest Airlines Flight 421 serves as an important case study in aviation safety history. While lightning strikes on modern aircraft are rare and usually non-fatal, this disaster demonstrated the catastrophic consequences that could occur if an aircraft was not properly designed to withstand such events. The lessons learned from this accident contributed to the evolution of aircraft engineering, making commercial flight safer for future generations. Though the wreckage has long since been cleared, and the story of Flight 421 has faded from public memory, its legacy lives on in the advancements that followed. The tragedy prompted essential changes in aircraft design, weather forecasting, and lightning protection, improvements that continue to protect passengers and crew today. The crash of Flight 421 changed aviation forever. What do you think? Happened? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.